question for me is how short of a leash is Quinn Ewers going to have when the Texas offense is struggling? Because there's many people saying that the offense would be better with Arch Manning. Their young sophomore quarterback. I mean, redshirt freshman quarterback. What is going on? You Don't Know Ball Podcast Nation. We are here for episode 31. Jack couldn't make it this week. He's on a hunting trip. Grayson blew me off today, so he's not going to be on the show ever. I'm just kidding, but he's not on the show today either. So instead, Alex and I thought of a great new addition, which would reach out to the appeal of the younger audience, and we brought in Levi Rowe. Welcome on the show, Levi.
Thank you.
As you know, Levi is our 11-year-old brother.
Yeah.
And he's just learning the sports. He doesn't know ball, but he probably has a little bit more knowledge than Alex and I combined. So
happy for him to be here. Yep.
Happy for him to be here. Levi, what do you think about the show?
I think it's good.
You think it's good?
I think everybody should like and subscribe.
Wow. Didn't even have to ask him to do that.
No media training necessary. He already rocked it.
He's already killing it for us in the marketing section. So today we're gonna do a couple of things. One, we're gonna start with Weddle. I know we haven't started the episode of Weddle in a long time, so we're gonna get that out of the way. And then we're gonna do a deep dive into the college football playoffs in about 20 minutes because I am going to the game tomorrow. Notre Dame hosting Indiana. Go Irish all day. It's going to be so fun. I'm so ready for the game. I'm going to try to put some stuff out for content on the You Don't Know Ball page. Should be a great day of football as we kick off this college football 12-team tournament format at the Cathedral of all stadiums, Notre Dame Stadium. So night game 2 should be electric, I should say. I think it's going to be amazing, and we'll see. We'll get into more of it in a second. Alex, put that trash J.J. McCarthy jersey away. Levi, keep showing your Lions jersey. All right, here we go. We are doing Weddle now. If anybody can see my screen, Alex, you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
All right. First guess, Levi, go ahead.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
All right, Gibbs again. Not a bad person to start with at all for these kind of guess games. See if it loads for us. Hopefully, it's kind of slow. I don't know why. It's never really done this. Oh. All right.
Didn't
awesome.
even work.
Awesome. It's all right. Here we go. Okay, so maybe it just won't work for us today. All right, let's just refresh it. Sorry for the delay. You guys, Alex, you've been watching John Gruden's clips at all? I've been listening to John Gruden podcast.
He taught the entire. Yeah. Did you see that?
Say it.
He was teaching the entire Chicago office a formation today. It was hilarious.
It was. It was like they were teaching her. They had the girl at quarterback. I don't know her name, but
yeah,
they were teaching
Kelsey
tight bunch right and left, and there was one time where the tight end wasn't on the ball, and he's like, "What are you doing? You get on the ball. You're not on the ball." And he got into him a little bit. I'm like, "Oh, John, if there's anybody on the planet that loves football more than anybody in the entire world, it's John Gruden, because a guy lives and breathes football." I've listened to him on a couple of shows this week, and it's just so fascinating to hear him talk about football stories and kind of
just like the X's and O of it too. Yeah.
Yes, he's like a genius. Like him and Connor Stallions are they would make a
masterminds.
Power team coaching staff, in my opinion. I don't know. because they're just
Yeah, I
so
agree.
locked into the X's and O's of football. All right.
He's in the NFC North.
All right, they're saying we should move on to what else. So here we go. I'm gonna say if it'll let me load. Let's do this guy.
Mike,
Baker Mayfield. He's 29
Okay.
years old, not a quarterback, 6'1", and he's not in the NFC South. Alex, you got anything?
is it the NFC West? No. Try. Who else? What's the other team?
I think it's this guy.
Try. Amari Cooper doesn't play for. Oh, you're doing Cooper Cup.
It's not Amari Cooper. If it'll let me do it. All right, what the heck? I think we're gonna scrap Weddle this week because it's just not working for us. If this doesn't go in, I'm just gonna quit. All right.
He's a wide
He
receiver.
is a
There we
wide
go.
receiver. I didn't know Cooper Cup was 31 though. I thought he was like 29 or 30.
Yeah. Do Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Or AJ Brown.
All right. Devontae
No,
Smith.
wait. What? It's higher than 10.
And he's 6. So AJ Brown. No, he's 6'2".
No,
What about
He's
it's somebody
6'3"
in
now.
that division
he's
though.
not. How could it be smaller than 6'2" and taller than 6'1"?
who's in the East?
6'1" and a half. What the hell?
Who's 6'2"?
I'm gonna say, oh man, we're really struggling, guys.
So it's 6 foot receiver, right?
It's in the NFC. It's in the NFC
East.
East. Who's in that division?
Would it be does Brandon Cook still play for Dallas?
I thought he transferred.
No, he didn't transfer. He got
no.
cut. It's Dallas Cowboys. No,
Texans.
so is it Malik Neighbors? No, he's
Houston
number 1.
Texans.
Nope,
Yeah.
they're in the AFC.
Oh, they are.
NFC East is not the Cowboys, right?
I think they
I think no. They're the East because it's the Cowboys,
Oh, yeah, they're the
Commanders.
It's Terry McLaurin. Right? No, it's not.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not Terry McLaurin because he's not taller than 6'1". Maybe it is. Hold on, let's just do it.
Yeah, we have nothing to lose anyways.
It was Terry
It was
McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin.
Let's go.
There we go.
Boom.
Finally got it. Weddle was terrible today. Did not like
Really
Weddle.
bad.
Yeah.
It was laggy.
I didn't either.
Sorry, I apologize for everybody that had to deal with that, but can't really help with the at home setup because we gotta make it work with what we got. All right. So majority of this podcast we're gonna focus on the playoffs that we have ahead of us. We're going to do at least 1 or 2 things for every single game that we think is important. And we're going to point out some things that can make or break a game for either one of these teams. And we're going to start off with Notre Dame and Indiana since it's the first game of the playoffs. So, for me, I think it's the game that's going to decide in the line of scrimmage. It's going to be really physical. Indiana's got the number 1 rushing defense in the country, according to statistics. Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame and Indiana are 1 and 2 for point differential in the country. Notre Dame being number 2, and they both have 1 losses. I think Indiana's quarterback is really solid. I think it's Curtis Rourke or something like that.
It's like Rourke.
Yep.
Rourke.
Rourke.
He's very efficient, and even though he had that one game they struggled against Ohio State, I still think it's pretty solid. He's played under Kurt Cignetti for a couple of seasons now, dating back to James Madison University. So we'll see how he can face up with the Notre Dame secondary. Xavier Watts, not Benjamin Morrison, he's out. Leonard Moore, and Adon Schuler and Christian Gray. We have a excellent secondary looking to shut down whoever lines up against us. And for me, even though I just named a bunch of those stuff, I still think it comes back to the line of scrimmage because Notre Dame has to be able to run the ball, and Indiana's got to be able to stop the ball. And I think it goes both ways. So that's my take on Notre Dame football.
For Indiana being in a Big Ten school and seeing what they did this last season, let's go back to the Ohio State game where they really didn't get a lot going on. Their defense kept them in for a little bit, but then Ohio State started pulling away when they got that punt return. They got they were just giving Rourke all kinds of havoc, and it really was not a pretty game for Indiana. If Notre Dame could do that to Indiana, like not exactly, but like similar to what Ohio State did, I don't think Notre Dame has that much problems on Friday.
No, I think if that's the case, I think Notre Dame wins easily, and they win by at least 2 scores. But I don't think that's the same Indiana team we're gonna get. I think they're a little shell shocked at first when they went into Columbus, and I think they might be a little bit more prepared here.
You don't think they're gonna be shell shocked in their first playoff game in 100 years?
It's Notre Dame's too. It's not
Notre Dame has
first
had
playoff game, but it's definitely they're not their first test of the season. They had that against Ohio State, so I think I think that coaching staff's gonna come back a little bit more prepared, but I think it's just gonna be not enough.
Well, we also saw Indiana's offensive line struggle against a solid Michigan defensive line, which we all thought there was nothing until the Ohio State
I hope
game.
they're solid, Alex. They have 2 first-rounders in the interior D linemen.
Kent Green and Mason Graham.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Notre Dame's defensive line could impact this game immensely than what any other team they've played.
Yes. If we saw what Michigan did to them, they had 2 good interior D linemen, and Notre Dame's got 2 really good interior linemen with Howard Cross and Riley Mills. Howard Cross coming back from injury after he suffered that against, I believe it was Florida State.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that he's back on the field. But all right, with that said, make your picks. I am taking Notre Dame by 14.
I'm taking Notre Dame by 7.
Notre Dame, and I don't know, by 10.
All right. Next game, we have Penn State hosting SMU. Some things about this game, I think Penn State, I think SMU matches up okay with Penn State. I know that they're from the ACC, but one thing that I think is going to be an evident factor for this, I think Penn State's defense is going to dominate the Mustangs' offense. I think SMU's quarterback, Kevin something, I can't remember his last name, is really good at creating plays and keeping the play alive, but this Penn State defense is just ferocious. And I think they played a decent game against the number 1 team in the country, against Oregon in the Big Ten championship. Sure, they gave up their big plays, and sure, they gave up 42 points or 45.
Yeah, but that's Oregon.
But Oregon's also really effective and really dominant at what they do, and it's hard to guard Oregon. So, I think this is not going to be close. I think Drew Allen and the Penn State Nittany Lions just dominate. Levi, what do you think?
I think Penn State's going to come out there and just dominate.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite player on any of these teams?
I like Drew Aller.
You like Drew Aller? Are you just saying that because you don't know anybody else?
Yeah.
Well,
man of the people.
Man of the people. Alex, give me your takes on what you think about Penn State.
This game's gonna be, I think, brutal for. I don't think SMU has seen an opponent this physical in their entire season. I don't think the only thing that I really think that SMU has possibly has a chance is their tempo is very fast and they play offense. Probably one of the fastest. I mean, I watched them in the ACC championship game and they moved down the field and with a minute to go in like 30 seconds at most, and they scored. And which obviously gave Clemson a chance to kick a field goal for the win. But that's not my point. If if SMU can get some sort of rhythm on offense and do enough for their defense not to be totally pummeled at the end of the game, then I think they absolutely have a chance in this game. But we're seeing how Penn State has played the entire season, and especially if they did play Ohio State relatively well, and they definitely played Oregon really well. And yeah, I don't know. This one could go either way.
Score pick for me, I think Penn State wins 27-10.
I think it's going to be a 35-7 game, Penn State.
Alex?
I don't think it's. I don't know. I think it could be like a 17-14 game, or it could be a 35-7 game.
Okay. So Penn State dominates at home against SMU. Looking at Clemson and Texas, Texas is holding the Clemson Tigers. I think this is the most unbalanced game out of the bunch. I think Clemson doesn't match up with Texas well at all. I think Texas's defense is playing lights out. The question for me is how short of a leash is Quinn Ewers going to have when the Texas offense is struggling? Because there's many people saying that the offense would be better with Arch Manning. Their young sophomore quarterback. I mean, redshirt freshman quarterback that
Extremely athletic.
When he's got in, he's provided electric plays. He's really made that offense more dynamic than it does with a hurt Ewers, because I do think Quinn's a really good quarterback, and I think he's really effective on passes, deep balls, and fitting it into tight windows. But I just don't. Ever since he got hurt against that.
Georgia?
No, it wasn't that game.
It was
Ever since he's gotten hurt, he hasn't been the same. So,
No.
I think,
and he was pretty dominant.
Right. I think for Texas, that's the question for me about this. I think Texas wins pretty handily in this game, but I just want to see how they attack the Quinn Ewers v. Arch Manning situation.
Yeah, I think that's more entertaining than what talking about how Cade Klubnik can actually make this a game, because there really isn't there isn't a way that Clemson has. Texas is on a way different level than Clemson, and we're about to see it on Saturday.
There's not a single scenario in my head that I could play where I think Clemson comes out on top against this team, against Texas, because I
agree.
Don't think Clemson's all that great, and they don't play in a good conference either. So, Levi, you got anything about Clemson you want to talk about? Clemson, Texas?
Yeah, I think that Quinn Ewers could come in, and then later in the drive, they could put in Arch Manning for a few plays, and then they can go back to Ewers.
And two quarterback system. That's interesting.
So you're saying you think they should use a 2 quarterback system?
Yeah.
Is there what benefit do you think they're going to get out of it?
Touchdowns.
Oh. Well, I'm sure they're hoping the same thing.
Yeah.
All right, I think Texas wins 35-7.
I'm there too. 35-7.
42-0.
42-0. You think they're going to hold the Tigers scoreless? All right, Levi, bold take. All right. And this is the game of the week for the playoffs. And College Game Day is actually doing 2 shows this week, one at Notre Dame and one in Columbus, Ohio. We have Ohio State hosting the Tennessee Volunteers, or it might actually be Tennessee hosting Ohio State in their own stadium, because 40% of people who bought tickets for this game is from Tennessee. So, and the Ohio State athletic director practically begged Ohio State fans to stop selling tickets to Tennessee fans. So we'll see how many orange and white uh, fans are in that building because I don't know. I think this is going to be an electric game. Don't get me wrong. I think
An
Ohio
orange
State and Tennessee,
takeover.
I think Ohio State and Tennessee are two of the best teams in the country. I mean, Ohio State suffered that loss to Michigan, but one thing that keeps playing in my head is they're not playing Michigan. And when they don't play Michigan, they play lights out against everybody. And we've seen that against the last 4 years. I mean, Ohio State's been great. Their last playoff
Every
game
playoff, yeah. Every playoff.
They
Sorry.
played the national champion to the wire, literally to New Year's Eve, and just lost of a missed field goal. And that was after they got manhandled by Michigan at the end of the season. Yeah. So we could see either two Ohio State teams, in my opinion. We could see the Ohio State team that's been dominant on defense the entire season, or we could see the Ohio State that showed up against Michigan and Oregon combined, where they had no defense and no offense. So if that's the Ohio State team we get, I think Tennessee walks into Columbus, plants their flag in the middle of the O, and walks out with a W pretty easily.
And a felony.
And a felony case, because that's now a thing in sports.
No, I totally agree.
About what? The flag?
No, about the Ohio State game.
I think this is going to be a good game, but you know what? Tennessee should wear their winged helmets just for this game.
I kind of wanted to see them do that. I know there was talks about it, but there's no way that a tradition heavy program like Tennessee would do that.
That'd be funny though.
Alex?
Yeah, I totally agree. This game is one of the biggest matchups that we're going to see in the first round of the playoffs. It really is. To be fair, coming from a Michigan fan, Ohio State they've shown up and played pretty good under Ryan Day in every playoff game they've been to. Even though he's lost every single game, their offense is stellar. They always find a way to go down the field and score. Even if, it's simple things like missing a field goal that gets them out of the game and then flunks them all, But this game against Tennessee is all about matchups. It's Jeremiah Smith versus Jerron McCoy. It's if Will Howard can find Emeka Mbuka on the freshman corner that Tennessee has. It's if Nico doesn't turn the ball over, it's everything. And
it's if Carnell Tate is as electric as he was the entire season.
Yeah,
it's
going to be a barn burner for sure.
It should be a great game for that Saturday night slate for a night game, right? No, that's
uniform combos for both those teams are going to be really, really nice together.
Scarlet red versus white,
orange,
cream white. I think
cream white. It's awesome, and I also like the Notre Dame. I like Notre Dame's jerseys too. I like how they add the midnight blue, and they actually made the gold pants a little bit more traditional with actual gold. They look actually gold and not like that mustard yellow that we usually see on Saturday. So I'm really excited for this.
I wish they keep those around.
Me too. I hope they actually do. Yeah. But
I like how Notre Dame's bringing out more uniform combos.
Yes, I do too. Just to get our picks for the game, I'm going to say Tennessee wins 24-20.
I think Nico Amaliab is going to go off, and it's going to be 38-35.
38-35.
I think this game goes into overtime, and it goes to 42-35.
Who wins?
Tennessee.
Wow. So all three of us are taking Tennessee. Well,
Shocker.
That might be bold. That might be bold, but we'll see how it works out for us. Another thing I want to talk about, the rumor about Notre Dame getting black jerseys. I'm glad it wasn't true. I wasn't really sure how to feel about a school like Notre Dame who's so tradition heavy and where we usually wear our blue jerseys at home. or green. I was only going to accept 2 different kind of jerseys. I was going to accept the Kelly green jerseys and gold pants, or the midnight blue and gold pants. And I'm glad we got the midnight blue ones because they look great. And usually, as a fun fact, Notre Dame usually doesn't have the names on the back of their jerseys, but since it's a postseason game, we get to have we get the names on the back of the jerseys. So you can see the Jeremiah Love name, you can see the Riley Leonard name, and pretty cool touch.
And
Not
probably
sure
one of the first times that
knows.
has it at South Bend, though. In South
The
Bend.
last time Notre Dame had a home game, it was like 96, and they played like Chicago School of Physicians or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did we win?
Oh yeah, we won. It's the last time we had a home Friday night game at South Bend. So it should be electric. I think the entire campus is ready already. I saw a TikTok of this guy standing outside the gate already. So it's going to be so much fun. And
It's not just Notre Dame's campus too. It's St. Mary's as well.
Yeah.
St. Mary's has a whole section in the student section for them too.
It's going to be electric, and we are all for it. So
yep.
Can't wait to start that. We'll get into some pick'ems, and then we're going to have to end the episode because we got a busy day tomorrow, and we're looking forward to it.
Yep.
Just an update. Also, one thing. If you aren't Team Isaac against Team Grayson, just go ahead and unfollow the show because your boy is going to beat Grayson this week in fantasy, and I'm going to upset him, and I'm going to shock the world. I've been making some business moves.
How's the score so far?
We don't have anybody playing today, so we don't get to see too much happen. But it's going to be a good week of fantasy, and I have hope that my team will pull off the upset. So there's my pick for that. But all right, we're only going to do NFL picks because we already did our college football picks. Texans at Chiefs on Saturday.
I'm gonna do Texans. Patrick Mahomes is hurt. I think that hinders his play a little bit.
All right, I'm gonna do Texans. I'm gonna do Chiefs. Steelers at Ravens.
Whew. Big time.
Ravens.
I like Ravens have a better offense. I'm gonna go Ravens.
I need the Ravens and Lamar Jackson to go crazy, so I'm taking Ravens. Lions at Bears. Lions. Eagles at Commanders. Sneaky little good game in there.
I gotta take Commanders here. They play it better at home.
I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm taking the Eagles.
Giants versus the Michael Penix starting Atlanta Falcons.
Giants with the upset.
Giants are 2-12.
I don't care. They're not upset.
Okay, so Atlanta's winning. And one more. We'll do one more for the Monday night game. Oh, sorry, we'll do 2 more. Buccaneers at Cowboys.
Bucks.
Easy.
Bucks. And then the Monday night game, we have the Saints at the Packers.
I'm going to go Packers.
I'm going to go Packers. They don't have Alvin Kamara.
They're going to wipe the floor with those guys. So, what a week of sports. What a week of anticipation, excitement, and competition. We are looking forward to it. We will maybe post some content out for the You Don't Know Ball podcast while we're there. But go Irish. We'll be back next week. Hopefully the rest of the staff will be here. Levi, thank you for joining the show.
You're welcome.
Levi, good job, dude.
You want to say?
You don't know ball.
Yeah, good stuff. If there's any college coaches listening, he's a class of, I don't know yet, but he's a quarterback and safety, right? And he's a dog. So starting his recruitment early. Hit us up.
He already has 2 game balls.
He's got 2 game ball. Game ball.
It was on the last game of the season.
That's gonna do it for us this week. Thank you for your constant support. Thank you for everything. Thank you for listening. Remember, we don't know ball. You don't know ball. We all don't know ball. We'll see.
Merry Christmas!
Go Irish.